And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of WrestlePurists Worldwide. It's Monday. You know what that means. It's time for Worldwide with yours truly, Ibu of WrestlePurists, better known to many of you guys as Backup Hangman. And I'm joined as always by the current crew of Anna DeMarco of WrestlePurists, and Monty. Hope you guys are doing good. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you have not already. Send super chats, all that good stuff. But we're gonna have an exciting edition of Worldwide tonight because we have a little bit of a more open show here. No one big concrete thing that's going to eat up too much of the show. We're going to go around the world. We're going to catch up with what's going on with SmackDown and Bash Berlin. We're going to talk about the G1, the N1, and I have some news for you guys. So we'll get into that one later. That's your little teaser. But we do have some news today. Trying to keep that up from last week's explosive news bits that I gave you guys.
Sorry.
What happened? Did I do something?
No.
Am I muted?
Carry on, Eva.
Okay.
Carry on, Rockstar.
Okay. No, I was just sorry. But of course, joining us is Anna. Anna, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Like today's the hottest day of the year. So if you guys see me with a fan, no, you didn't. Just ignore that. But yeah, I'm doing good, surviving. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about the 5-star just a little bit, and see everyone's opinions in the chat because I have some thoughts and I do want to see like what the Stardom fans are thinking about it. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Actually, we didn't even talk about this before we went live, so I'm going to be learning along with the audience here. I haven't really been able to catch any of it. Rob was telling me a little bit about it, but curious to hear how Anna J did, how the tournament's been so far, and how the booking has been. So I'm excited to hear about that. Monty, how are you doing today, boss man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I've watched way too much wrestling today, as I was telling you earlier, bro. But it's all for a good cause,
You know what's funny, dude?
Not sure what it is, but
I realized like I have not changed since the days I was in school, dude, because like I still cram. I had all Sunday to like catch up with wrestling, and I just didn't want to. I had all Sunday, didn't want to do it, and then this morning at like 7 a.m. I'm like, oh, do you want to catch up? And I'm like going through all these one matches and shit, and I'm like watching at 7 a.m. and I'm telling myself, okay, I'm gonna watch this, catch up with, and take a nap. Wasn't able to sleep, so I just watched the N1 stuff. Been catching up, still have not slept. So I don't know, but love the game. I enjoyed a lot of what I watched, and I'm excited to get into it with you guys. And I feel bad for it. Must be really fucking hot in there. Like you,
it is very hot. It feels like an oven. Like I'm Brazilian, so for me to be like this hot is just a nightmare. Global warming is.
Do you have a fan? Do you have a window? Like, do you have?
No, but the thing is, there's no air, there's no wind. It's night, and it's just like an oven in here. Like, and the window is open, and like nothing is happening, nothing is going on. I feel
nothing's
like it's
blowing like into the room.
No,
it's just hot air, like just everywhere.
It's not even hot. It's just like when there's no air at all, it's just like still.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like that, and you live in you go in the street and you cannot even breathe. And I was working the whole day in a kitchen, mind you, so
oh my God,
I'm going through.
Pray for Anna, everyone.
Oh man. Well, hopefully today's news tidbits that I dropped don't make you as sad as last week's did, because that was something when I kind of dropped the bomb on everybody that the Lucha Brothers are going to WWE, and you kind of like crashed out live on air. But hopefully,
good content, though.
It was. I rewatched it. It was really funny.
I'm very happy that my suffering was good content for you guys.
No, it was great. Keep it up. Listen, I'll tell you what, AEW fans, I'll give you this one ahead of time. I think this is good news. I guess it depends on your opinion. But it should be exciting. It'll be something you can look forward to, I think. Probably. I want to say yeah. So, yeah, look forward to that. Some AEW news. I do have an update on the Lucha Brothers, specifically Penta, El Cero Miedo. And, yeah, man, we'll talk about all this stuff. Before we do any of that, though, Monty, I'd imagine we have a couple super chats built up.
We do, man. And
let's get right into them.
We got to shout out Matt Hennessy, man, because he's coming through again with another €60. So we're starting off with him. And he says, with the Lucha Bros and Bobby Lashley all set to leave WWE and AEW soon, do you think TK and Triple H will do an angle to write them off, or will they just keep them off TV and let them quietly leave? Very conflicted on the Garcia situation. Choosing WWE or AEW has pros and cons. A few things to unpack there.
Thank you, Matt, for the super chat. Really appreciate you for the support for this channel always. More specifically, Monty spoke extensively about the Garcia situation just on Saturday in a little hangout stream he had with Joe Hulbert. So when you guys get a chance, check that one out. That was some good audio. But yeah, man, the Garcia thing is up in the air, man. Like we who knows what's going to happen there. I do think it goes down to the wire, and I do not think his decision has been made. But regarding Lashley and the Lucha Brothers, I really don't know. I'm leaning towards saying we will never see him on WWE TV ever again. That's what I'm leaning towards. And regarding the Lucha Brothers, that one's a little more dicey. It's a little more dicey because you know what? I'll save that for my scoop later. So stay tuned. Anna, do you have anything to say about the Lucha Brothers, Bobby Lashley, Daniel Garcia?
I'm still grieving. I'm still going through it. I think, yeah.
Man.
With Daniel Garcia, the only thing that I have to say is that, like, you know, I would love for him to stay in AEW, but we talked about it so many times. You know, there have been like so many opportunities to use him well. So if he ends up leaving, I would not blame him, and it would not be a situation like with the Lucha Brothers that I would be devastated. I would be like, yeah, okay, and I could see him having success there as well. I also see like good things for the Lucha Brothers and for Bobby Lashley in their futures, but you know. For Garcia, I would not be surprised or upset if he left. Of course, I would miss him in AEW, but you know, I would get it. I would get it.
You know what? I'll ask an interesting yes or no question. Yes or no, Anna? You're Bobby Lashley, right? You're Bobby Lashley in this moment. You hate Polovec. You think your creative has been fucking awful, right? And you've already decided you're leaving. He calls you and says, "Hey, before you go, can you come to TV to put over Jacob Fatu?" Are you saying yes or no?
I would say no, just out of spite. You know, if I hate him, why would I say yes?
It's a fair point. I think Lashley's already done, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
he
that's a great
doesn't have
point.
like. Yeah, he doesn't have any responsibility left, right? It's not like he still has to like fulfill dates or anything.
Technically, no. It expired a couple days ago, actually. Yeah. But that's another weird one. Like WWE and AEW reserve the right to add injury time to people's deals, and they've done it before. But it appears as if they have not done it with the Lucha Brothers and Bobby, despite being entitled to. So that's something I think we should keep in mind, because you know, if these companies wanted to get nasty, I think they reserve the right to do so legally. But thank you, Matt.
Bluey 200 rupees, appreciate you as always. While some of Triple H's booking decisions prior to SummerSlam were criticised, they led to Liv, Priest, and Braun being elevated, and Drew's the hottest he's been. Triple H has been vindicated. Lots of tasty directions.
Tasty is crazy word choice. You know, tasty is crazy. Tasty is crazy. Oh my God, Monty! We should never speak the name of this person, but it just reminded me. The late Louis Dangor, Monty. I remember one time
the late
Louis Dangor. I remember he quoted some like generic SmackDown match graphic and was like "tasty" in all caps, and I remember being like, "What the fuck?"
Banned word list, bro.
Yeah, right. Louis Dangor. But yeah, I'll give Hunter credit. Like he did deliver necessary payoffs at SummerSlam, and he kind of had to because he was at the 1 yard line of being disqualified from Booker of the Year, in my opinion. So good for him for doing what he should have done, and which is giving Gunther and Braun Breaker championships.
Austin Kinkle, $2. Appreciate you as always. Street trash sounds like something out of 2021 WWE. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That report, I think that report that came out this morning from WrestleVotes, I believe, the street trash is one of the names being considered. It's not locked in or anything, and there has actually been a new Judgment Day T-shirt that's dropped today or something.
You know what I think? I think this is probably like one of the wrestlers involved leaked this just for like the people to be against it, so that WWE just cancels the plan. Yeah, just to shit on it. So like they're like, okay, let's choose another name. You know, I feel like they were close to choosing this name, and then I don't like Liv Morgan or someone just hits Sean up, and we're like, hey. Put this out there, please. We cannot do this.
Save us. And the street trash is crazy.
And they got to TV, and then fucking Bruce Pritchard's like, so we're thinking of doing street trash, and they're like looking at each other like, oh.
It doesn't even make sense. No, you know what I mean?
No.
Like,
the other thing is, a lot of modern WWE theme songs suck. The Other Side, which is the Judgment Day theme, is one of the only good songs on the show. And you know they're gonna get rid of that for some like really shitty, just like Def Rebel song, you know. Oh man.
But yeah, hopefully they don't go with it because ever since those reports came out earlier, people have been shitting all over it. So
You know, my suggestion was, Monty, call it Revenge Tour, since that's Liv's
That's
whole
actually
thing.
solid. Yeah.
You know, they go city to city every week on Raw. Call it Revenge Tour. That's Liv Morgan's whole thing. You might as well.
Yeah.
It's okay.
you like it, you know.
That's pretty good. You know?
Darren Walker, £2. Appreciate you as always. Have you guys seen NJ in Stardom? Any views?
You know what?
Go
ahead, Anna. Take it away.
I was just gonna say, like, I mean, so far, I don't. From what I've seen, you know, I didn't watch the third day yet, but from the first day, she only had like a 5-minute match. I don't think they have like as much trust in her so far, which is understandable. You know, it's her first match there. They're still kind of testing the waters. I think she did like a solid job, of course, compared to the other matches of the show and to the other wrestlers in Stardom's roster. It's a very complicated comparison for her, but I do see some potential, and I think by the end of the tournament, she should definitely be a lot better. I'm still a bit confused on the choice of sending her of all the people in the roster, but if she improves by the end, you know, I feel like it's worth it. But so far it was okay, you know, like the match wasn't something like egregious or anything, but it was not like the best, you know.
My mindset with Anna is the same one I have with Tavion Heights from NXT, which is basically you look at how they looked in their first 2 matches, and then you evaluate them at the end of the tournament, and you have to kind of mentally discern, like, does it come off like they've gotten any better? You know what I mean? And like wrestling, it doesn't usually work like that where you can just microwave a person, but it does help. Like in modern wrestling in America, where you don't get a lot of dates, working in Japan in a tour where you're wrestling like 4 or 5 times a week, like that's a big difference to wrestling a short match on TV like every 2 weeks. So this is valuable experience for her, for Heights, and hopefully for her sake, she comes out of this like a better wrestler.
Absolutely. Legend Rider, $5. A JD name change is fine. Judgment Day name change is fine. Group is too linked with Rhea and Priest, but Street Trash sucks. Like, is Vince feeding ideas through Bruce again?
Hey, Vinny,
it's a very bad name.
What do you think? What should we call this Liv Morgan group? And he's like, I'm the Street Trash.
But I really want to understand. I know that it's like it doesn't make sense. Where's the connection to any of them? You know, I really want to know the thought process behind this name.
It's weird. Gunther called Priest Street Trash in their build.
Exactly. Priest is not there.
No, he's not there. unless, and this would be very Vince filled. Like I could see Bruce in the room being like, and then you have Balor lean in and tell Priest, that's why we're the Street Trash now. And it's like, even in that context, it doesn't make that much sense.
Makes 0 sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's the most.
It's just pretty bad.
Stop it, Bruce. You know, stop it. Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate it as always. Also, Ibu, no CMLL review last week. Did you see MJF's match there? And has there been any other news in their recent events over the last 10 days?
Darren Walker, let me tell you something. There's always news festering underneath the surface in pro wrestling, like by the second, actually. So yes, there is tons of news all the time. Is there any I could report? Yeah, and I will do so later on the show. So stay tuned for that. And I watched the MJF match. He faced Templario for the International Championship, which MJF rechristened the American Championship. And it was totally fine. You know, he was out there doing his heel shtick, you know, and some people don't like it and other people think it's fine. And he did the shtick, and Templario was the babyface, home country. And
he got to look good in it, you know.
He looked good, and then he lost.
That's kind of the point. That was literally the point, really. He looked kind of good, and then he lost, you know.
Templario was a heel for most of this year. He was in the Los Principes stable with Rocky Romero, but he recently turned babyface. And when he turned babyface, Monty, I had the feeling, I'm like, they're going to throw him against MJF, aren't they? And then like 3 weeks later, he's facing MJF. So it made a lot of sense.
Speaking of Templario, I think he's coming to the US soon, or he's getting his visa sorted or something like that. Dave reported in the newsletter.
He's going to get over.
Yeah, he's coming over.
Yeah. But the only thing about like MJF is that I said that before with about Chris Jericho, but I'm so tired of wrestling gimmicks that is like, oh, but you're supposed, if you think it's bad and it's working, like shut the fuck up, you know? That's like no, I
Heated.
can but like honestly, like, oh, but you're supposed to hate them. I can hate them if they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job to make me hate them. Like Roman, for example, when he was like tribal chief, you know, like
Right,
you
right,
can
right.
you can make me hate you by doing your job well. If I
Mhm.
think you're doing your job shit, then I don't understand the logic of like, oh, if you think I'm doing shit, that's actually me doing a good job. Like,
Yeah, because if a wrestler makes you feel that way, it's not even money drawing heat because you're less inclined to just even watch them. You're like, I don't want to see this, you know. But
exactly.
yeah,
It's like no one wants to see it. It's like, oh yes, I'm bringing heat. And it's like, no one cares. Like people are annoyed. You know, people turn off the TV when Chris Jericho shows up. When he has the match, people go to the bathroom. You know, like that's not. I do not get this logic, and I hate that that's something that's becoming like so like
common.
strong and prevalent and yeah, so common. It's just how about just doing a good job? Like, have you considered that? Like, you know, crazy.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Max has leaned fully into the whole like country versus country thing, and I think it'll pay off on the night in Wembley. Like in Wembley, they're gonna be super into it. It's gonna be like a football atmosphere in there, you know, rooting against the evil Yankee. But in the week-to-week TV build in these American crowds, where he has to kind of like work overtime to make sure that these Southern people don't chant USA, it's a little awkward. You know what I mean? Because like he's in America and he's like, that damn Brit, I love my country though, and they're like, yeah, and he's like, not you people though, and they're like, fuck you, you know. But it's like, all right.
So and what makes me even more pissed is that like we know MJF can do a good job. You know, I feel like the perfect example is him in the Punk feud. Like we hated him because he was so good at doing his job, like the whole devil thing and the whole segment. I'll never forget like the segment that Punk was just like bleeding and he changed into the thing like that on Daily's Place. You know, like he can do his job well. So this is definitely like a choice, and I do get what you mean. Yeah, it's gonna pay off at Wembley, but is it worth it for like one payoff? Like
I would
all
really,
the things, yeah.
I really hope it gets more personal in these last few TVs leading to the Wembley. Like I want more just Ospreay and Max having issues as men rather than like the issue being like America versus the UK.
Well, they did the Fletcher thing on Wednesday. So.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a good trend in the right direction because that makes it personal, you know.
All right, Jack, €5. Do you think WWE would be open to longer excursions? Also, Ibu, I missed the comparison, man. Please accept the follow. I signed the DM. You got some demand, Ibu.
Oh yeah, yeah. I locked my account, and I gotta say, Monty, I do not get the same engagement I used to get. The tweets do not bang, But I'll tell you what, though, the peace of mind is amazing. Like being able to fire off a tweet and knowing that nobody can quote you. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Jack, I don't know what account you are, so you're asking me. Like,
you name it.
Yeah, like he's saying, like,
Jack.
Hey, man, just let me in. I'm like, brother, there's genuinely, I'm not kidding. There's like 158 like requests right now in the follow-up thing. I don't know, like I'm not checking off any of them shits, but yeah, man, let me know who you are and I'll let you in.
He says he signed the DM.
All right, I'll look.
Signed the DM, sent the DM.
Is WWE open to more longer excursions? Yes, they are.
But the bill at $5 Canadian, another one for Ibu. Ibu, I'm sorry for what you went through last week. Wrestling fans are the craziest. In my opinion, the crazy AEW fans drive fans away from the product. Take care.
It was pretty crazy last week, and yeah, man, like the really like insane side of the AEW fan base is pretty bad. Like the nuts fed fans are bad too in like a totally different way. But it is what it is. I won't get into it. I'll just say that I appreciate the people that were like taking up for me and stuff on Twitter. So weird because I'm usually the fucking villain monster. Like everybody fucking throws tomatoes at me and shit. And everyone's like being super nice to me last week. So it kind of like made me feel weird. Like it was genuinely like I logged on Friday and people were like, treat Ibu with respect, guys. I was like, what the fuck? So weird.
Bro, it confused me. I DM'd you about it.
Yeah,
I was like, what happened?
What happened? you were like, we respect backup Hangman in this house. I was like, you do? I was like, thanks. But no, I really appreciate the support, and I'm enjoying the newfound freedom of being a locked account.
Ray Gar. I always mix it up.
Garian?
Ray. Ray.
Garian?
Ray Garian. Yeah, we'll go with that. €2. Ibu the indie wrestler. Is he good?
This is my.
No,
this
he's
is
not.
this is like a hilarious meme that's become a thing now. Like, it's happened in 3 different posts.
Bro, I got like 1,000 likes. Not even on the WrestlePurists account, just tweeting a screenshot.
It was so funny. Like, there are people in AEW that just thought this was like hysterical, and I was like, it's still okay.
Corey David, $5. Tavian Heights is nowhere looking good. Is Tavian Heights in nowhere looking good? He should try to stay a little bit longer. Also, wish they would have sent Oba instead of Josh Briggs. Oba's an integral part of the NXT television, brother. You know, that would be awesome, though, obviously. But yeah, man, Tavian Heights. I watched a lot of him today.
Tavian Heights.
I watched like 3 matches in a row. Sat down,
hell of a
locked
prospect.
in.
Yeah,
got my scouting report out, you know.
We'll get into Mr. Heights because I've been very pleased with what I've been seeing, which is encouraging, Monty. Because night one of Noah, like the N1 was kind of like whack. Like the atmosphere was shitty, the crowd was whack. Tavion looked really like kind of ass against Titus Alexander, and I was like, maybe I should just not watch the N1. And then Monty, they moved to the magical land of Korakuen Hall, and everything snapped into place. It doesn't matter that, you know, like a lot of people are injured. They went right into Korakuen Hall and things just kind of came into place. So we'll get into that shortly.
Showtime Spurs, $5. Appreciate you as always. Watching my first 5-star GP and have enjoyed it very much. Helps that Stardom World is only $6 a month. Hashtag the yen is down. And
it continues to influence the world.
Yeah. No, I mean, this 5-star GP, there have been some good matches. I'll talk about it like a little bit more later. Yeah. But if you have Stardom World, I would recommend to try to watch the 2022 5-star GP. That one was just like, that was so beautiful, you know, like we used to be a country. Like that was 2022 Stardom. It's like I'm getting teared up just thinking about it. Like, it was crazy. Shuri as the red belt champion, Julia having her whole storyline, Saya with the white belt being like the best in the world, you know, like the matches. Kairi was there, not in the 5-star, but she was having matches in the events as well. It's like, it's such a moment. I would recommend also catching up on that, like if you have time and if you want to.
And I don't know.
Especially the opening, Hazuki versus Julia, or in the whole Korakuen show. Sorry, you can. Yes.
I was gonna say I don't know if you remember, but I got into Stardom via you just throwing a bunch of 5-star GP matches at me from 2022, and I was like, "This is like peak wrestling! Holy shit!" Like I was watching this. I'm like, these people are really godly. Like this shit is godly. Everybody I saw was good. I was like, God damn, bro.
All the matches were hitting like that. That was something. That was like one of the best tournaments in the history of wrestling. Like I'll die on this hill. Like it was
guys,
crazy.
I don't know if you'll relate to this analogy. You know when you're first consuming like a new form of music or something, and you haven't developed your taste, so you just think everything is good, and like you can't discern like good or bad. I remember watching everybody. I'm watching like people that people say are shitters, like Mirai or whatever. I'm seeing people that people praise like Saya. I'm like, this is all great. Like this is great. So, yeah,
it's great.
A special time, you know. They kind of it was kind of crazy watching them like blow up during the pandemic, you know. Like, yeah. But anyway, and that's assault on $2. Tavian makes me blush. I gotta stand. Man, he's killing it.
Real.
Blush is great.
Corey David, $2. Appreciate it as always. Wonder who NXT sends to the Marigold tournament.
Please send Sol Ruka.
Well, honestly, they have so many like amazing wrestlers that I feel like any of the ones they sent can grow so much there and also like show out. I would love like Tia Hill is one that I've been really like enjoying seeing her stuff. Sol Ruka is just like amazing as well. I feel like there's a lot of people with potential. and I would like to see them like giving them space. I honestly like the way that those women show out. Like I feel like every week there's a new woman. Like what the where did she come from? You know, and there's just does
Turning them out,
delivery
man.
like moves, like veteran moves, like crazy things that I haven't seen since like Dragon Gate 2011. You know, it's like insane. Yeah, so I feel like any of them that they stand there can really like really girl. So honestly, at this point.
Anna, it's crazy. My Tuesdays every week now is I'm at work. I never like tell myself I'm going to watch NXT. That's not a thing I do. But I'll be at work. I check my phone, and there's like just another GIF of like a lady doing like a triple backflip to the outside, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then I watch the match. I'm like, "Yo, that was sick." So yeah.
KL 50 pesos, appreciate you as always. Does Triple H's freak ass genuinely like Death Rebel? Don't understand why in a climate where they've improved like 75%, they are still working. Is he broke?
Yes, and Def Rebel being their music person is like a money thing. And no, nobody thinks Def Rebel is good. Like I'm telling you this straight. Like nobody thinks he's good or they are good. Triple H listens to 70s and 80s rock music. I don't think he's listening to "We're Taking It All." Let's go on the fucking solo theme. And he's like, "Oh yeah, this is a banger. This really this slaps." Like no one thinks that. So no, but it's a money thing, and they're just they're cheap. So.
And PN $2, appreciate it as always. ZSJ is taking it home. # British. # beans and toast.
It's looking possible, Monty.
Man.
I was very dismissive.
They're making me
of you guys.
believe.
I was very dismissive of you guys. I was like, they're not doing it. Like he's a gaijin. It's a blah blah blah, and he's already qualified to be in the block final.
14 points, baby.
Now that might be it right there. He might lose in the block final. Maybe he loses in the actual final, but it's looking good now. The problem with the G1, this is why G1's messing with your mental health if you're really rooting for one person. It's bad for your mental health because you can't be... See, in real sports, if your team is like high in the standings, you can be secure and be like, all right, cool. We have some breathing room, whatever. You can never be secure days ahead of the final because it's like, if it looks good now, that means it's going to get bad. If it looks bad, it means it's going to be good. That's how Gato books. So it looks good for CSJ now. We could be coming back a week later and he's not in the
tournament. It's gonna like a squash match. He's losing 2 minutes or something.
That's
like the most humiliating defeat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the G1.
But honestly, like I saw the news that he was qualified for the block finals, and like I started believing, like the hope started like festering. I was like, oh no, I can't do this. I cannot go through this again. Like as someone who watched that man win 2 New Japan Cups to then lose 2 title shots, I'm like, I can't go through this again. I want to believe, but I can't.
I might have to watch this block final live. I might have to wake up for that one. I might have to wake up.
No, after watching the Ospreay Okada like final G1 final, that I was rooting for Ospreay so hard, and I was so sure he was gonna win. After watching that live, I'm never doing that again. I'm sorry. It was like 7 a.m. I'm screaming at my computer because Okada won again.
Oh my god! I have been terrorized by Okada at 7 a.m. before. Listen, I will never forget. Listen, that man is he's like Okada in these G1s and big Tokyo Dome matches. If you're rooting against him, it's like being a basketball fan in the 90s and you're rooting against Michael Jordan and he's playing against you. You're just hoping that last shot doesn't go in. It goes in. It always goes in. And with Okada, I remember Rudy, I was so into Naito, Monty. And Wrestle Kingdom 12, I remember watching it live. I'm like, Naito's going to beat him. Destino. No, he kicked out. What the fuck? And then, like, Rainmaker. And I'm like, kick out. He just doesn't kick out. That was traumatic.
No. It is so traumatic. Honestly, the G1 final, Ospreay, he just starts pulling up all the moves of everyone who ever beat Okada. And then he loses.
I have a confession to make with everybody, and this may inform some of what I was said prior, but I promise it doesn't because I did catch back up to all this later. I missed a lot of the 2018 Golden Lover stuff in real time. I missed it because I was so mad at New Japan that I just dropped the promotion at the Wrestle Kingdom 14. I took like a long break, and then like I caught Okada Omega 4 because I heard the buzz. But outside of that, I just left it alone. And the only wrestling I consumed for the rest of the year was the NXT takeovers. I literally said, fuck wrestling. I don't want anything to do with any of this. Yeah. I caught back up like a year later, and then AEW started.
You threw a tantrum.
I did. I threw it.
Bender is great, $2. Street Trash is a nice nod to 2019 WWE booking. Yeah.
Yes, a famous great time in WWE.
Zyverson, hope I got that right. 1999. Appreciate you massively, brother. First time donating, big fan. It's weird WWE didn't promote AJ Styles and Io Sky's big matches in Japan. You'd think they want to highlight that, especially if they're trying to grow their presence there.
Yeah, it's interesting. They outside of AJ, we don't know what they're gonna say with EO. I think they mentioned it, but like it's funny because they didn't really say too much about it. But then with NXT, I caught the backstage segment, and they're like, "Hey, where's Tavion Heights?" He's like, "Oh, he's in the N1 right now in Japan." And like they talked all about it, but with the main roster, like they didn't really say too much yet.
Yeah, with Io, they were like, "Oh, because she cannot be here tonight because she's still like recovering from the attack last week or something." And then like during the weekend, she had one of the best matches of the year. And for me, that doesn't make sense. I do understand that WWE wants to be like the only wrestling company in the world, you know. So for their fans, is also explaining to them that, oh my God, there's wrestling in Japan can be very hard, you know, in their minds. They can't just like, oh, this person had a match in another company, but. Yeah, for me, it doesn't make sense. If you have one of your wrestlers who was a former champion having one of the best matches of the year, why would you not showcase that, you know?
Yeah,
like, for me, that really doesn't make any sense.
The Damage Control were recently in Florida to shoot a new vignette for themselves. And I think we need to get some Marigold footage in that video package when they air it.
Yeah. And especially because it's in the company of the person that you're like, you know, that you signed and that you, and no, it's like with Julia, you know, she's in that company, you signed her, you want her to be like the next big thing, and you don't even mention the company she's from. Like, that's just very weird for me.
Oh, I guess this counts as a semi-scoop. It also is funny because NXT has the okay to use Julia Marigold footage when she debuts, and they're planning to do so. Yep.
Kale 50 pesos, appreciate it as always. Gunther is an evil man. I believe he hates the homeless and that he's a privileged piece of shit. MJF is a 4chan edgelord.
Real.
I think it's funny, guys, that Gunther on screen in the last year has been very demeaning and disrespectful to Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Damian Priest. He was pretty respectful and nice to Randy Orton, who he saw as an equal last week. I'm wondering what the difference is there and why.
You're noticing things, Iba.
I'm noticing things, you know. with the New Day, he's like, you're all a bunch of dancing little, you know. He had to go through his mind. What animal can I use? You're all a bunch of little rats or whatever. You know, with Damian Priest, he's street trash. With Randy, he's like, have a lot of respect for you, Randy. You know, you're a great wrestler. I'm like, what the hell?
I mean, it is Randy Orton, you know.
Plausible deniability, I
guess. But yeah, trust the process. $34, $2. Outrunners will save the tag division. Strap the Rocket, TK.
Fuck off.
Come on, bro. I was gonna say, come on, bro. Like,
I was gonna say, like, at this
point,
is the
wrong show.
You know what's funny is, like, I actually don't hate them, but like it's so funny how quickly wrestling fans just get attached to meme wrestlers. You know, it's just really cute. You know.
Speak for yourself, Andrew.
That's how the Acclaimed got what they are right now. Let me just say it. You know,
they are actually like pretty good, though. You know, they're pretty good.
The others?
No, the Acclaimed are pretty good.
Anthony Bowens is pretty good. Free him.
Free him. Andrew 199, appreciate you as always. Saya versus Fekler, -5 stars. I would die for Shuri.
Yeah, I still haven't watched that one, but like the fall of Saya is really hurting me, like, very deeply. She was my favorite wrestler in the whole world. She was the best in the world, I think, during her white belt reign. And just to see like everything that's been happening since Utami left is just so depressing. You know, like, and I thought, like, when she first showed up and she walked out with her new outfit, the new getup for, like, I thought, oh, maybe I judged too soon, you know, like, she's actually made, like, deliver with this new gimmick because the look is amazing. Mm-hmm. But then in the ring, like, I don't know what's going on there. Like, I'm just so disappointed. Like, we know how her capabilities. Like, you know, we know her talent. So it was like watching her like trying to be a heel. I don't know. I hope that by the end of the tournament she's more comfortable in that. But I think the booking decisions, especially from what I heard from the Tekla match, it's just very like Tara Okada should go to jail. Like that's so bad. The whole
It's
hate
over.
thing, like they just wanted their own house of torture, which is like, why would you want your own house of torture? You know, like let's start there. But like, yeah, and Shuri is still like the
It's
absolute
over,
goat.
Anna.
It's,
You know,
it's over.
It's
over.
very much
It's
done.
Marigold, you know, that's where it's at
Marigold
now.
all the way.
That's where
Honestly,
it's at.
but it's like so sad watching the 5-star because you were like, I was watching it and they still have some of the best wrestlers in the whole world. You know, you're still like May Seta just delivering like absolute amazing performances, and then you have Mayu, you have Tom, you have like Sayadida. There's like so many amazing wrestlers, and then the booking is just dog shit. You know, like it's depressing. It's so depressing.
I've seen promotions like that.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Anjan P and $2. What dirt does the Acclaimed have on Tiny Con? Hashtag
Oh my
dub thumbs down. It's aggressive.
Yeah.
Tiny Con is
Matt Castro
always
definitely has
aggressive.
something though.
He's so attached to him, bro, because it's his idea, you know, the Acclaimed as a tag team, and you know, I don't know, man.
I get it, to be honest. It's like they were there for you in the pandemic, and you came up with the idea to just mix these two indie guys in it, and it got over big. So in his mind, he's probably like, "Fuck all of you guys. This rocks, okay?" And I made it, you know. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But for me, there's like where it starts to get like very dangerous with bookers, you know, when they start putting like their ego, like their ego above anything else, and then like we see what's happening now. Like, yeah, that happens to be the case, and for you to be a good booker, sometimes you just need to put that aside, and I don't know if it's like capable of doing that.
Yeah,
I will say this, guys. I'm gonna expose Anna. She says all this, but like when we're off air and the Acclaim like do their rap, like she is bumping her head. She's so in there. I mean, when Max
I'm not bumping my head. I'm hitting my head against the wall.
She's like, "Yo, listen," you know.
Anyway,
that's defamation. Like that's actually like a crime. Oh. Wow.
Defamation. Ray Guyan, €2. It's pronounced Ray Guyan Monty. Hashtag welcome Felix. Well, if I'm botching it, I'm botching it, but like, you're just gonna have to live with it at this point, you know.
Did you realize that this individual didn't like phonetically spell it to help you pronounce it? You just
that's the bit, Ibu.
Oh, that's the joke.
Oh, Jesus.
So dumb. I had a
fuck, bro. Berkey 199. How long until Ibu gets freaky on private?
0.1 seconds.
The selfie drops are gonna be just shameless, bro. Shameless guy, bro.
I did think for a second. I was like, should I tweet things that I would never tweet on me? And I said, nah, I'm just tweet like I would normally tweet.
Masfan84 199. WrestlePurists Twitter attracting incels like flies. Fire Elon.
That Ishii tweet was disgusting. Like, I don't know where the bot. There was just a bunch of bots, Monty, just flooding
Ishii tweet.
The Ishii Swerve, like the tweet was like, "Oh, Ishii is Swerve's challenge," and this is just a bunch of bots. It's like,
oh shit, I didn't even notice.
You know, Monty, check the replies.
I'm gonna pull it up. You know,
right? It's a bunch of beep boop beep boop. Who's this beep boop boop beep beep boop? I'm like, what is this? Who are these people?
Let me have a look for my
brother. It's crazy how people are like, yeah, no, like I'm crazy. It's crazy how people are proud of like their own ignorance.
It's crazy. You know? It's Ishii. It's not even like it's some super scrub or some unknown person. It's Tomohiro Ishii, a great New Japan wrestler. He took an open challenge on a Saturday Collision episode. Like, that's so harmless.
Oh, shit. He has 143 replies, bro.
That's what I'm saying, Monty. It's a bunch of freaks and just losers.
What is this?
I don't know.
This is making me deeply uncomfortable, but I'm only just seeing it now. Showing my screen.
Monty, you're making us look bad. Niggas is tweeting what happened to WrestlePurists.
And you know, like these are the people that are saying that LA Knight is like the best wrestler in the world. You know, that's crazy.
Why is Jobber no shit?
Here we go. Why I see all the issue disrespect? He's still a hoop. I'm gonna give this fella here a like. You know,
Retweet it, honestly.
retweet it days later.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, man, shout out Ishii. I'm a big fan of Ishii. You know,
He's very good. That match with Swerve was quite good.
I mean,
It was.
it was all
good.
right.
It was good. It was good.
It was okay.
All right is like, you know, like the opener with like Darby and Hologram versus the Premier Athletes. Like, that's all right, you know.
Oh, 100. Well, at least he got 400k views. You know, I'll take it. I'm a carny now.
I didn't think about that. See, that's how you know I hate this app. And I was like, man, this is gonna be really bad for my pocket today. I said, fuck it, I'll go private.
A Joe Holbert tweet just pops up on my screen and pop huge.
Wait, which Joe?
It doesn't matter. Bender is great. $2. NXT AEW talents you'd like to see go on excursion.
Were you a Futurama guy, Monty?
It's okay.
You know, it's funny. I used to love Futurama as a kid, and I grew up and I was like, why is Fry such a simp? This one-eyed girl doesn't love you. She doesn't appreciate you. And this guy is all here like, I'll do anything for your love, Leela. I'll play this song for you, Leela. And I'm like, motherfucker. Leela's talking to Zach.
I haven't watched it. Honestly, I haven't watched Futurama in a while.
What a fucking years, bro. Yeah.
So
no
AEW talents. Honestly, like I was a bit. I'm not gonna say I'm sad that NJ was the one that they sent, but I did expect like other people to go. I would love to see it, like Willow or Chris, of course, are like top choices to go on an excursion there to participate in a 5-star for me. Like that was the dream. But even like other people, like Athena, of course. But I think if they send like Queen Aminata, for me that would be so beast, you know. I would love to see her having some Stardom matches in a or maybe like next year in the 5-star. I think she could actually like really hoop and deliver some of the best matches like in the whole tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there are so many people that are ready, and I do understand like the logic behind sending NJ, but there are some people that are already like amazing wrestlers that I would like to see them also sending there. So, or people that I see like more potential that are already good in ring and they can really like be great to just like a little push, like Lila Hirsch, even like Red Velvet, things like that. So there's a lot of people. And for NXT, I think what we said, anyone that they send, I feel like it's gonna surprise us. Like, you know.
I'm gonna toss in
from the women. Yeah.
The recently signed Tommy Billington, you know, the nephew of the great Dynamite Kid. AEW just, you know, it got reported that they signed him. I'd like to see him in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'd like to see him in New Japan. You know, it's a spiritual home there for him. And I'd like to see him in the junior division working guys like Kosei Fujita and some of the other good juniors in the promotion. So that would be my other choice to add to some of the ones that you guys have pitched.
So women in AEW, I'd say.
Oh, Ty.
Yeah, Queen Aminata. Layla Hirsch was a good one that Anna mentioned as well, I think. Men. Tommy Billington is actually probably like the serious answer. But Wardlow, do some try revive it. That's more for him.
It's over.
And John Moxley.
Let me not
Put him on a plane. You know.
Oh my god.
Honestly, if TK
let him do what he wants to really do. You know?
Oh my
like,
god.
If
Go ahead, Anna. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if TK is serious about keeping Garcia, just promise like to send him for a Best of Super Juniors or something, you know.
I guess so I'll be transparent about this. Every time I speak with people in AEW, I'll ask questions, right? And lately we've developed a good relationship to where most of my questions get answered. You know what one always gets no sold though now, Monty? Where is John Moxley? I'll be like, yeah, so that you're gonna do that? I'm like, yeah, we're doing it. And I'm like, oh, okay, so how about this? And all the ideas that I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Where's John? And I'm like, so I was doing this thing with the segment last week, and I'm like, where's John Moxley? I don't know, bro. I'm slick about it too. They'll still leave it on red. They don't care.
Mox, man, he's
I reworded it last night to, is John okay?
I think he's okay. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't think anyone knows.
Well, last week, I worded it like, "Is John mad?" It got a laugh react and no reply.
That's
man.
crazy.
All right. So
Is that all the super chats?
in NXT, who did you send from NXT? You've already said Sol Ruka earlier. I don't know, you know. I don't know. Because like,
Owens and Wesley. Actually.
That'd be pretty cool.
Wesley
Wesley
just needs to
we
go on
haven't
main
seen.
roster, man. That
Sure.
heel turn's a bit of a... I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know about that one, fella.
I'll quickly note that MSK Axiom Fraser match was awesome, as expected. The post-match heel turn, I actually have no issue with Wesley turning heel, but the execution of that angle was very theater kid. Like, he was just like, he's acting like an anime character as he turned to the dark side. He's just kind of like making this face like, ugh, the darkness is consuming me. Like, he had that type of face, and I was like, you know what I mean? Like, he's just like flicking his eyes like,
he's a natural baby face though, man. It's like Saya, but not even 10% as bad. You know? It's like some people are just baby faces, bro. It's like, don't fight it. You want to add layers to the character. It's like some people just you just don't need to fight. Maybe it was his idea, I don't know, and he wants to do something new, but I think it was just time for him to just go up to the main roster, you know.
65% of the times when wrestlers pitch to creative, let's do something new, it's a really bad idea.
Yeah. Don't know, 199. Templario and Camelito can save the AEW tag division.
Are you familiar, Monty, with Kemalito?
Isn't he the mini?
The evil mini.
Yeah.
Real though.
I remember seeing a clip of him getting kicked off the apron before.
Both get the shit. The funny thing is, like, there's no like CMLL morality. Like, you don't beat up the babyface mini or the heel. No, they both get their asses kicked. Like, they both get thrown off the ring and shit.
Honestly, Kemalito pinning like Matt Jackson could actually like save lives. You know, that would pop me so hard.
We need another modern WLC type classic. That's what we need in pro wrestling. You know,
MLW was trying. I think they still use Micro Man and shit, you know.
Where's our modern generation of just beast minis, man? Like, we're losing recipes in wrestling. We're relying on
we actually are, bro.
Yeah, we're losing recipes. I watched them.
Minis are awesome, bro.
I'll never forget. I always bring this up. AAA Worlds Collide 1994, one of the most important wrestling shows ever in California. Like, everybody talks about like Eddie Guerrero's performance and Art Barr's performance and Rey Mysterio and blah, 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 blah. The best match on that show, I don't give a shit. Espectrito versus Mascarita Sagrada. That's some real shit. That match is awesome. It's just a bunch of 3-foot dudes doing ranas.
Real.
The crowds are always into it as well. It's always got a hot crowd as well because of, like, you know, it's just fucking fun time, bro. You know, it breaks up shows really well. I just, like you said, bro, we're losing recipes, man. Like, some of those AEW shows, you know, just throw out some minis in the middle, you know.
Monty, go back to like a 97 Raw before the Attitude Era is fully formed and they're trying to figure out what the fuck to do. There's just some shows where like minis come on and you're like, what's happening? Jerron's like, we hear this is Mascarita Sagrada from Mexico. Like, he just starts doing.
Oh man. Tony should just fucking do it, bro. You know, you got the CMLL partnership, you know.
Oh, hell yeah.
He can do it without
If
being
he was a good
accused
booker, you know.
So,
you know?
imagine.
I wonder if he would pop a number, you know.
Imagine Stokely Hathaway versus Cam Bonito. That would be amazing. Oh, that'd be so good. That'd be so damn good,
bro. Wrestling, we've lost the plot with wrestling, you know. We're trying to get all these 5-star matches and shit, you know. It's like, what are we doing?
Minis.
What are we actually doing, you know?
Yeah, facts.
People.
I want a Cam Bonito like Wembley entrance, you know, like that's what I want to see.
And it would take him like 9 years to get to the ring.
Worth it. Let's cut up some matches.
just-
Who needs women's matches?
Oh my god!
Comes out on Rush's shoulders. Yeah.
Halfway through, Rush said, "Yo, my shoulders hurt, bro. Get the fuck off."
All right. And that's something too does appreciate as always. Calling a Brit crack baby is bad, but also so lazy. I mean, it was quite lazy.
Yeah.
I think that was the thing that struck me the most. Even without kind of like the racial undertones that comes with crack baby, because I don't know. If gun to my head, I don't think he meant it in that way. I think it was just kind of like a lazy dig throughout there. So, you know, yeah, not his greatest hour.
Yeah, I don't think him being British was British was the problem in that situation.
Exactly. Yeah. We're not even in like the crack baby era anymore. Like that. Like I. Never mind.
I'm sure they're still out there.
Yeah, crack babies impressive, but like Monty, you go to New York, you go to parts of Harlem in like 1992. It's crack baby city. You know what I mean? But
it is lazy. Yeah.
Anyway.
Patrick the Heel 499 Shotzi injury update, perhaps, please. Brother, you saw. I even DM'd you about this, Patrick. You saw that that workout video she put up where she's like working on her knee, and it's still early days. It's looking like, brother.
I'm gonna respect. I don't want to get myself in trouble again, but the promo that she cut, the go home show to Survivor Series War Games last year, was one of the craziest things I've ever heard, and I think it frightened Charlotte in the moment as well. Like Charlotte looks at Bianca and was like, "Is she all right?" And she looks at Shotzi and stuff. And she was just
Charlotte
like,
does do that. She does.
I'm gonna bring a new level of violence and be crazy. She's just screaming. And Charlotte's like, "What the fuck is she doing? Like, what is she doing?" And she's just kind of like, "Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna win War Games this Saturday." Oh man,
Matt Hennessy 249. How do you fix the AEW tag division?
I don't know, man.
How long we got?
You
How long do we
more
have?
acclaimed.
You try to rebuild your division. You try to form some new teams. You try out new combinations for chemistry purposes, and you just focus on it more. And you hopefully have champions that wrestle on TV a little bit more. But
for me, it's not even like making new teams. Like they do have good teams, they just don't use them. Like why are we watching Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed when you have like Top Flight, when you have Private Party, and then you have like two teams in Ring of Honor as well that are better than the main roster teams right now. And then you have your champions who are the Young Bucks, like one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and they're now wrestling. So it's just
I agree.
care about it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
All right. Where do you want to start, Iba?
All right.
Well, start. We're an hour in. But,
yeah. This is a good show we got over here. You guys are awesome. These super chats really carry us. I might just start like doing topicless shows and just let you guys. You know what I mean? But
that's what me and Joe did on Saturday.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, so I'm going to quickly touch on SmackDown. So Bash in Berlin, as of last Monday, had Randy Orton versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther is your World Heavyweight Champion. Randy Orton was defeated by Gunther in the King of the Ring final, but his shoulders were clearly up. Referee's decision is final, so Randy respects that. However, per Triple H, Randy gets to get the first shot at Gunther because he never lost to him. Great main event set for Berlin. And on Friday, they added Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes. This matchup was set up because Cody Rhodes was rewarding Kevin for all the times he's helped him in their battles against the Bloodline. Kevin Owens was a bit, indecisive, resentful, whatever you want to say. He didn't feel like he deserved it with his win-loss record. Cody insisted. Nick Aldis insisted in the back. Kevin Owens decided to take it once it was suggested and floated out there that maybe Roman get the shot. And Kevin Owens is basically like, fuck that and fuck you. And so he's getting the shot now. We'll see how the story evolves. We'll see if because I read something from someone. I think it was from Karan Monty, our very own Karan, who said like the thing that Kevin's really worried about is that he becomes a really bad person when he's chasing a championship. And we saw it with Roman, and he's okay to bring that out with Roman, but with Cody, who's his friend, it might be tough. But nevertheless, that's your Berlin card so far. We got those two matches. Corey Hayes of PWN has reported that a mixed tag will be added, which is to be expected. It's going to be Liv Morgan and Dominic versus Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, which should be a hot undercard match. So there's 3 matches so far in the show. And one guy that I don't expect to be on the show but appeared on SmackDown was Roman Reigns, who he came out and they were shaking ass. They were throwing babies in the crowd. They were throwing the ones out. Women were flashing him. Men were screaming and crying. It was quite a scene. I'm going to go to you, Anna, first. What did you make of this Roman Reigns return angle where he basically showed up, didn't speak, beat the living dog shit out of both members of God? He just destroys Tangaloa. He fucking crushes his body with like the steel steps. He spears the other one through the barricade. He grabs the Ulafala necklace briefly before Solo is able to retrieve it. What do you make of night 1 of babyface Roman?
Hell yeah. Like he made the new bloodline looks like such geeks in like 2 seconds. You know, like he just walked in and they immediately looked like cosplayers or something. They did not look like real wrestlers. And then he started beating them up and they just looked so like, yeah, just like geeks, like so weak. And Solo, my God, I have never seen like someone without like with zero aura like that, you know, like it's negative. It's insane. And we always talk about it, but when Roman and him are in the same, or like they're in the same like place in the same vicinity, it's just so like obvious, you know, how bad he is. And the whole, because without like Jacob Fatu wasn't there.
No.
Right. And like Jacob Fatu is like the one person that you could put in front of Roman and you're like, oh, okay. You know, like if you put all the other people from the new bloodline in front of Roman, they're all gonna look so stupid, and that's what happened.
You know what's proof of this, Anna, is this part. Like in wrestling, if you have one guy taking out a stable, sometimes it'll feel like implausible. You're like, oh, you're kind of making them look weak. I watched Roman dismantle the Gorillas of Destiny, and it did not feel implausible. It's like, yeah, this is what should happen. Like Roman should be able to destroy these people. It's why it makes it so funny that like I'm talking to my brother about this, and he's like, "So who do you think's gonna back Roman up in this storyline?" And like, obviously he's gonna get back him eventually, but I'm like, does he need it? Like, can Roman could beat these 3 like 1-on-3?
Yeah,
but that's when Jacob Fatu comes into the situation.
Oh yeah, you know.
Yeah, because like if they would have like a handicap match and it's Solo and the Gorillas of Destiny against Roman, I would fully believe, yeah, like Roman is winning that. Like there's no doubt about it.
Easy. Light work.
It feels like Roman could beat Solo 1-on-1 in 5 minutes. Like it really feels like he could beat Solo.
Even it would be like one spear and it's done.
Exactly. He's like, I'm literally, he's walking out there like it's like Brock Lesnar in like 2015ish, where he'd go on the Rumbles and shit, and he just like suplex like 16 straight people, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense, you know, like that.
Yeah, this is the thing, you Bill. No, it's like you've got these 3 fellas. You know, not a lot. Actually, I think Tam has actually been really good in WWE. But Tangaloa's obviously he's been a meme every time he appears on screen, and Solo Sikoa's just
holding the title.
He's just he just can't do anything right, you know. But Solo Sikoa is kind of unfortunate, but
yeah,
you know, Jacob Fatu, he'll level things up a little bit, but he's no Roman Reigns. But it's like when the final boss comes into the equation, people. It's like he's unmatched, you know. Not even Roman Reigns, not even OTC babyface Roman Reigns can match the aura of the final boss.
Oh my
Dwayne
God,
Rock Johnson.
Since we're power scaling here, Monty, about like, you know, plausibility with strength and shit. Like the same way Roman like smoked those guys, and I bought it for whatever reason. I don't. Now that Cena's like old and has like a full head of hair except in the back. He just feels like weak to me. So when Cena came out and Rock bottomed him and now for Cena, I was like, yeah, that makes sense, you know. And so, could you imagine a scene where like Roman just destroys the whole new bloodline? He's feeling unstoppable, and Rock is just kind of like, "You're not ready for this, little boy," you know. And just Rock.
Dwayne's a beast, bro. A different animal. In that build to Mania, when they would do like they did that one big promo when it was both of them in the ring, and it was like, you know. He had that big moment where Rock goes to end the promo and Roman stops him and tells him to acknowledge him. But like when they were just in the ring together, bro, it's like Rock was just so much like
that was great tension. Roman grabbed his hand and was like, knows, man. And people think, oh, Rock's gonna be mad. Rock's like, okay, I acknowledge you, Roman. And Roman's like, I bet, good tension. Yeah, it's gonna need Jacob and Rock for this to feel like a fair competitive struggle,
Yeah.
So
I'll put Dwayne
Which is
against anyone or
crazy.
any group, brother. You know,
can Rock be in WWE Power Kayfabe? Can Rock beat Cody and Roman 2v1?
I don't
I
know.
mean, I think
I
he
don't
would.
I don't think so, but it would
He'd
take
lose
like a lot.
a controversial finish.
Oh my! For the Dragon Ball Z fans, you need Cody to pull a Goku on Raditz, where he grabs him from behind and then Piccolo shoots the fucking beam through both their bodies.
Yeah, I think like Cody has to be like holding him for the crossroads, and then Roman has to be hitting like a spear in the middle of it. They have to do like a combo too.
Roman,
and he would still kick out like the first time.
Listen, he's a member of the board, member of the TKO board, but that's power, bro.
Reminder:
wrestler, he's the most powerful wrestler in the history of wrestling.
Rock's gonna be Rock's. There was talk that he was gonna be around for Survivor Series season, so I'm really curious how they pull that off.
Oh,
yeah, I feel like when it comes out, like when they finally put on track that like The Rock was behind this whole thing, so like Solo doesn't matter anymore. I feel like then it's gonna get really interesting because now it just feels like Roman is just kicking them out. They just look so stupid.
The best part is gonna be when Rock shows up and like Solo's like on his like knees or whatever, grabbing his stomach, and he sees Rock and he's just kind of like, "Final boss, you're here!" And Rock's like, "Get the fuck out of my face, you loser!" Like you fucking bum. Like just kicks him to the side. It's like, anyway.
He's gonna. Oh, bro. He's the best.
He's the best. So that was.
But yeah, man, Roman rules as well.
Roman Reigns good. So that's kind of kind of SmackDown and Bash at Berlin. Anna, before we move to the G1, did you have any other additional thoughts you wanted to give on the 5-star GP outside of the Saya stuff and the Anna Jay stuff?
I just had like some matches. I would say I still haven't seen the third day, but from the first day, if you guys want to like catch up and watch, I would say to watch from the Meisera match versus Tomoka, like to the end. Watch from that one to the end, except the Saya match. You can skip that one. And then from the second day, I would say from the I think the Azumi match. Let me just check the card. Like the last 3 matches of the second day, I'd say like so far those are the ones that really stood out to me, and especially the main events. Mayu Iwatani is still one of the best of all time. So I think there's like some matches that are worth watching, but not the whole show. We're not in that stage of Stardom anymore. And I just want to say something very quickly. Like someone said in the chat, Cody KO, but I just read Cody Co, and I got jump scared for a second. I don't know if you guys know the Cody Co drama and lore.
No,
listen, Anna, that's just real quick. 10 seconds. Like my girlfriend is literally started watching like Cody Co and his girlfriend like 3 months ago. Started getting into him, loves having him on as background noise sort of thing, and then obviously all that shit comes out like I don't know 3 weeks ago about Cody Cole. So
it's just like Ibu, just like a little context. It's like this kind of like very big commentary YouTuber, one of the most famous ones. Like he has videos that are 30 million views and stuff. And then it kind of just came out that he slept with Tana Mojo when she was 17 and he was 25. No. And then people found out that when he was 24, he also dated a high schooler. So it's like getting, like that. So when I saw like someone just said Cody KO and I just read that, I got jump scared for a second.
Like, holy shit!
What is Cody KO doing now?
Thought he was among us somehow.
If you're gonna write Cody KO, put like something in the middle. Like don't write it like that.
Oh man,
yeah, that's all. But the 5-star, I would say that just last 3 matches of the second day, and then from the first day from the Mei Seira match, which I think is gonna end up being like the MVP of the whole tournaments because so far, she's killing it. That match on,
awesome.
What I was gonna say real quick. I pulled it from the live chat. Andrade on SmackDown, brother. That's a hell of a player right there.
He is that is just a beautiful wrestler. He's just a beautiful wrestler. Like what's crazy is he was in amazing form in those last 3 months on Collision, right? And he's carried that over. Well, actually, here's the thing. He goes to WWE, right? And because he didn't have set creative, he wasn't particularly trying in the ring. And so his early WWE matches, I'm like, is Andrade, like, did he stop caring again? And then they built him on SmackDown in the storyline where he's chasing a championship, and all of a sudden he's wrestling like Shawn Michaels with Lucha Libre. But the cool thing about his form now is he's wrestling the way he did on Collision, but with this, like, it's gonna sound sacrilege, but it feels like this Tanahashi style, like, classical babyface ace-ness to him, you know. And he's so jacked, and he's doing like high fly flows, and he's doing that double moonsault off the top rope, and then he lands and then does it again. The freaking that back elbow that he does, Chris Jericho, stop doing the fucking Judas effect, because this puts you to shame. He's on a absolute roll right now. The in-ring highlight on SmackDown, he had a good one with Santos Escobar. Santos was on Photo Watch for me. I was like, let's see how this is gonna go. He wrestled Andrade, so he got off lucky there, and they had an awesome match. So yeah,
Andrade great. Like when he wants to wrestle, you know, when he's feeling it, he can be like one of the best. Absolutely.
It's so funny, Anna, because in he's been back in WWE for like what 6-7 months, and like in this time he's went from like, I'm happy to be back, this place sucks, I'm happy, this is awesome, like in like the same like run. Like, so that's Andrade, you know what I mean? Never that's too happy though. You know, it is real. That's how life is.
It's a job at the end of the day, you know, like.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Andrade's been doing great. Another guy doing great right now, Monty, is Zack Sabre Jr., who is leading. He's leading the A block in the G1.
He is.
He clinched it. He's going to go to his block finals. And the way they're doing it this year, Monty, is that if you're number one in your block, you don't even have to fight in the finals. You get a bye. So the way they do is he gets a bye, and then number 2 and number 3 have to fight for the right to face him to then go to the G1 finals. So it's like a little bit of a playoff scenario. I didn't watch the match that led to this. It was him versus Sonata. Monty, what can you tell us about Zack Sabre Jr. versus Sonata, which happened this morning?
Well, the thing is with Zack Sabre and Sonata, Ibu, is that although Zack Sabre is, I would say in my opinion, a more special wrestler, they play a very similar genre of music when they lock in and decide to. And the genre of music that they decide to play is very sweet to listen to, you know. It's very technically clean and efficient. And they show you some things that you've not heard before, you know. And they just have good matches, bro. They just have really good matches. I think Zach really enjoys kind of just being able to like flow out there with someone like Sonata that can kind of like do all the holds and the mat work and stuff with him. It was really good, bro. It was really good. Probably judging from the other reviews that I've seen of it, probably one of Sonata's better performances of the past few months. So
I believe that.
Zach's been on fire this year. Zach's been on fire for a few years. It's actually really good. Hopefully it's his year this year. You know, a lot of people are rooting for him. So
7-2, 14 points. Go ahead, Anna.
Yeah. With Zach, I feel like how British people feel during like a football tournament. You know, like during the World Cup. I'm always like, yes, it's finally now. It's coming home, and then just never.
Well, we'll see here.
I'm afraid. Which, like, I'm still like a bit. I'm not confused. I'm just not following it. Like, who is like on the point score thing? Like, who is set up like to face it? Okay.
Right now. So check this out. Today, right? Tetsuya Naito, the IWGP champion, had a chance to advance to the playoffs, Monty, and he faced the Great Okan. And had he won, he was going to make it into the playoff round where he faces Shingo for the right to face ZSJ. And he lost to Great Okan. So he loses to Great Okan. They're both 5-4. And guess what? Great Okan wins the tiebreaker there. And so Great Okan is going to face Shingo Takagi. Winner gets ZSJ. And I'm sure I speak for everybody when I say it. We know what's going to be the better match with ZSJ. You know, we'll see who ends up getting it there. But these are your final standings for A Block. Callum Newman, 4 points, 2-7. Did not qualify for anything. This is his first G1. He got 2 wins. Good for him. Shota Umino, a pitiful performance throughout this G1 tournament. He had about 2 good matches in the entire thing. He just looked really out of sync throughout this whole tournament, and something just seems to be off there. He finished 4-5. maybe. He finished 4 and 5 with 8 points, second to last place.
You don't
Gabriel,
have to do the records, bro.
I'm gonna
just names and points.
You gotta, sure. You gotta trust me. You gotta trust. I'm about to be smooth with this. So third to last was Gabe Kidd, 8 points here, and he lost a lot of his matches, but I did think with Gabe, even though he has a pretty like repetitive style, I thought that Gabriel, he did have a lot of good matches throughout this tournament, and he worked really hard throughout it. And one of the big spotlighted ones was just a couple days ago, and it was him and ZSJ. And just worth mentioning because I thought that match was pretty fucking great. Not as great as like Dave Meltzer, Monty compared it to Austin and Brett. That's ridiculous, but it was really good. Did you catch that one, Monty? I thought that was one of the standout matches of the last 2 weeks of the G1.
It was good. It was good.
Thing about Gabe, man, right? Like it's like he has this kind of way of wrestling that like. If you've seen a great Gabe Kidd match, you kind of like have seen it, like so like if you like I'm watching this is the first Gabe match I've seen in 2-3 weeks, and I'm like, yeah, that's what he does. He curses and he throws you to the outside and he fights you, and then he calls himself a madman, and then they trade suplexes and then they go to the finish, but I don't know, I thought that was quite strong. But yeah, he's third to last. Jake Lee, he also finished at 8 points for Sonata. And Tetsuya Naito finds himself on the outside looking in. So, again, guys, for the A block, it's Zack Sabre Jr. waiting to see who's going to win between Shingo and Great Okan. In the B block, this is a bit of a hairier situation. El Phantasmo is not qualified. El Phantasmo was the last place at 6 points. Oleg Boltin, second to last, is also at 6 points. But I thought he had himself a nice tournament and a couple standout performances in the last few weeks. Monty, what did you make of Oleg Boltin's matches with Jeff Cobb and Konosuke Takeshita?
Oh, he's awesome, bro. I've seen a lot of hype about him over the past couple of weeks and in this G1, and even coming into the G1, like people talking about his stocks are definitely going to rise in this G1, and I think they definitely have. The crowds get behind him to quite a surprising extent as well, especially if you haven't been like really up to date with what he's been doing this year. He's just an animal, He does the bolting. He does the bolting shake. It fucking rules.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings like a certain level of intensity, and he's really good at those like big men matches. Like he had an awesome match with Cobb, and the match with Takeshita was fucking awesome, bro. One of my favorite matches that I've seen from the G1 this year. Probably the favorite match I've seen, just in the sense of like.
What you
just seeing someone like Oleg just be able to just take it to Takeshita like that, and really announce himself like he has in this G1. Shit like that just pops me a lot, and Takeshita's just almost like hilariously good, like athletically and shit. And
Yeah.
it was just like two dumb studs, like dropping each other on their heads and just fucking running into each other. And it was awesome, man.
Legitimate, like, head drop German suplexes, like, just over
Yeah,
and
bro.
over.
Oleg just launches him into the air for one, and it's like Takeshita could definitely like rotate if he wanted to, but he's like, nah, I'm taking this on the dome, bro.
Which is so
Beast.
Ibushi-filled. It's so Ibushi-filled, I'm gonna take this shit right on my neck. But
real. That's a real wrestler,
I'll never forget that Ibushi interview where he's like, "Yeah, I know how to land on my head." Like, what? Like, what do you mean? You know how to land on your head? Like, there's a way to do it.
Of course, goat. No, but Oleg Boltin, like, honestly, I feel like when he got added to the G1, people were like very surprised because he was a young lion, like, I don't know, like months ago, But from the beginning, since he was a young lion, you could see that New Japan had like so much faith in him, and like they really believed in him. And then in this G1, he's just like proving it. Even though he hasn't won a lot of matches, every single match I feel like he's just been really proving himself. And I can see him just gonna skyrocket from now on. And he's amazing. Like, he deserves it. He's insanely good. Yeah,
I've been happy. But Boltin and his style is what I want out of Japanese wrestling, Monty. I don't want to tune into a New Japan show and see matches that I could catch on a Dynamite. I want to see weird freaks just clanging and banging, And so I've been happy with Oleg Boltin's output. I thought he had himself a real nice tournament, even though he didn't capture a lot of wins. Hanare finished with 6 points as well. Our dearly beloved Yuya Uemura finishes this tournament with 8 points. His last few matches were forfeits. He got hurt the other night facing Yota Tsuji. He ended up finishing the match and beating him, but he dislocated, it looks like his elbow on a high fly flow. So Yuya Uemura could not close this thing out and make a late push for the playoffs because he was injured, unfortunately. Heartbreaking. Hirooki Goto right now looks like he's out of the fight, but we don't know because B Block hasn't been figured out. Goto has had a nice run, Monty. He's basically telling the story of like, I'm the last of my generation in the G1 tournament, you know, like this guy's not there anymore and this guy's not there anymore, but I'm still here, 45 years old. This is my last shot. He brings his kids to the shows, Monty. His wife is at the shows. He's getting these emotional victories. He has 8 points right now. He can make the playoffs. Will he? I don't know. It's New Japan Pro Wrestling. But he's in the fight right now. 5th place, 8 points. Same with Konosuke Takeshita at 8 points, who's been lighting this tournament on fire. Monty, he faced El Phantasmo last week in Korakuen Hall. And it's the best El Phantasmo match I've ever seen. Did you see this? Anna, did you see this? What did you guys think? I'm going to start with you, Anna. What did you make of Takeshita versus ELP?
Okay, so I went into it already knowing that Dave gave it a 5 stars. So I was like a bit, like, okay, let's see what it's about. And then for the first, like, 15 minutes or something, I was okay, this is like a very good match, but 5 stars,
right?
And then that final stretch, I was like, taking off my clothes, like, let's fucking go. Like, I was screaming at my computer. That was so good. That was so good. Takeshita, honestly, he's been one of the best. Like, everyone knows that. But I feel like after this G1, he's just like one of the best in the world. There's literally no doubt about it. He's amazing. He's so incredible. I would not be upset, like, at all. Like, I think he should go at least like the semifinal match. If I would put him in the final, I would give him the fucking title. I don't care. For me, there is no explanation. If he goes back to AEW and he doesn't have a title in his hand until the end of the year, there is no explanation. For me, I would just put him against Okada, Wrestle Dream, give him the Continental title, whatever. Like, just give him something. Like, there's no way you have that many in your roster and you're like, like, let me put him with Don Callis and never make him win anything. Like, that's insane to me. Now that match was very beast indeed. Still don't take 5 stars. Still a bit crazy,
Yeah,
but
Dave's gonna.
It's a bit crazy to me. But the final stretch was great. Yeah, definitely the best ELP match. He also has a lot of potential. You can see the Japanese crowd loves him. They were the whole match just screaming like ELP. So like very cute. But yeah, Takeshita, like, my gosh, he moves me tremendously.
He is a special professional wrestler. We said this 2 weeks ago. He's like the best athlete in wrestling. I went into this. I heard about the hype. I saw the 5-star rating, and so I'm watching, and I do that thing where like 5 minutes in, 6 minutes in, I'm like, "Where's the 5 stars?" It's human nature. What do you want? You're like, "Where's the 5 stars here? What's going on?" And then it gets good. You're like, "All right, it's getting good." Like, "All right, this is very good." And at the end, I'm like, "All right, this is actually pretty sick." Were you moved by ELP versus Konosuke Takeshita, Monty, in Korakuen Hall?
Well, Korakuen Hall is
It's
He definitely played its part in the match. The way they got behind ELP, because I believe it was, if he loses this match, he's out, and obviously the crowd really got behind him, and he created a special dynamic because Takeshita's such a force of nature, So the crowd really gets behind him, and Takeshita's just outgunning him, I thought the match was good with a great atmosphere and a godly final 30 seconds. I won't go anywhere near 5 stars, but
right.
I thought it was good. I thought the atmosphere was really good for it as well, and I thought that last 25-30 seconds was electric.
A lot of
it was good. I won't say it moved me, but it was good.
Did any of the G1 matches that you watched over the last, I guess, couple of hours, actually, did any of them move you?
Let me get the list. I'm not Dave. I've got a little list. I'm crossing them off. Oleg Takeshita was probably my favorite G1 match I've seen out of. Sonata versus ZSJ was very, very high level. It was high level stuff here with WrestlePurists.
I gotta check it out.
But yeah, just watching those two Oleg matches back to back, that movement,
Yeah.
just seeing this new animal unleashed in New Japan, and yeah, Oleg, man,
he's awesome.
He's the man.
He's awesome, man. Not as awesome as Ren Narita, who is above Takanosuke Takeshita at 10 points. It's so New Japan.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Monty, he's stacking up W's. This guy he's balling out here. This guy he's winning.
Bro, Rhodes fucking cooked, man.
That's the most ghetto booking ever,
What is the best thing about Rhodes AEW? Like,
what's the best thing about the relationship?
The best thing about Rhodes is AEW.
Oh,
just the fact that they've got a partnership with AEW, they've got Takeshita there at the moment.
It's so New Japan that they're we're gonna focus on the young guys, and the young guy that's eating the most right now is Ren Narita. But him, Jeff Cobb, and Finley are all tied for 10 points. But the order is Cobb over Narita and Finley over Cobb. And the reason for that is because of tiebreaker scenarios. But the bottom line is any of those guys get a win at the next G1 night, and they're in the at the end there. So Goto's in the fight. Tsuji is kind of in the fight. Takeshita is in the fight. Narita has a great chance of advancing. Same with Jeff Cobb and Finley. We'll see which three of those five are going to be in this last little playoff scenario. Hopefully, Tsuji.
Wait, how many points does Tsuji need?
Tsuji basically has to win all his remaining matches and hope that certain people lose. That's his situation, to make it as simple as possible.
It's Joe.
He doesn't control his destiny.
I still have faith.
I do too. But we'll see. Hopefully Takeshita versus ZSJ is the final. I think that'd be pretty. If that was,
I don't think they would. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they have the balls. I don't think they have the the bravery or the courage of putting Takeshita in the final. Mm-hmm. But it would be so nice if they did. Please get your shit together. Takeshita versus ZSJ, because it would be a final that you would know that Zack Sabre Jr. is winning. So I would not be opposed to that. But I still think Shingo's going over Zack, and he's gonna be in the final and might even win the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see how this turns out. Best of luck to the competitors in the G1. I will be watching. I may watch those semifinals live. The other Japanese tournament happening concurrently is the N1. And the first night was a bit discouraging, really bad atmosphere, and it just didn't really land for a show, at least from my perspective personally. But really picked up, Monty, because as I said earlier, they got a healthy dose of 3 consecutive shows in Korakuen Hall. And brother, that makes a lot of a difference if you're a Japanese wrestling promotion looking for some hot shows. And they really turned it around with some really nice shows. And that's in spite of all the injuries. Elio del Dr. Wagner Jr. just got announced for an injury, which is really unfortunate. He's going to be out of the N1. Go Shiozaki, as we noted last week, he's out of the N1 with an injury. His replacement.
No.
What's up?
Sorry. I just found out that Go Shiozaki is out.
Yeah, Go Shiozaki's hurt. His replacement, Atsushi Kotoge. He faced Josh Briggs of NXT, and Josh Briggs locked him up in a lockup, and then lifted his body and threw him, and then he has a neck injury now. So Kotoge's out, and so yeah, it's really tough from that standpoint. A lot of bad injury luck. However, we got some really nice shows. Night 2 in Korakuen Hall was main evented by Ryohei Oiwa, who was a big prospect for New Japan, still on excursion in Noah. He tagged heavily last year with Kaito Kiyomiya. They had a great 30-minute time limit draw. I just thought that match was awesome, and he showed out in that match. And in the following weeks, the story of the tournament, at least in these last few days, from a Western fan standpoint, Monty, has been Tavion Heights. Tavion Heights is the green NXT rookie who's just trying to figure things out here, and he faced Manabu Soya. And I want to hone in on this for a little bit. I know we're running out of time, but he faces Soya, and I don't know how much is kayfabe, how much is shoot, but Soya, he doesn't want to shake his hand. He's just let's wrestle, ring the fucking bell. And it was just fascinating to watch Heights figure wrestling out in real time. It felt like he was just kind of like reacting off instinct rather than what a producer tells him what to do. And he's just kind of like firing up when he feels like he needs to fire up. He's showing like grit when he needs to. He's firing back at Sawyer when Sawyer's hitting him with his bombs and stuff. And it turned into like a really thrilling match by the end there. And he was able to follow this up against Keno. So what do you make, Monty, of Tavion Heights' last few nights in the N1?
It's going as you would hope it would be. You know, if you was in Tavion Heights' corner, or if you're NXT, or you're the coaches there, and you're hoping that you send these guys over to know and they can develop. Tavion Heights is definitely, you'd say, has been a success so far. You know, because you're literally seeing him in. I think he's had like 4 matches now, and his last 2 are definitely a lot better than his first 2. And yeah, the opponents have been better, but it's also just like his performances. He's really come into his own, and he's hit a stride. He's hit a good stride, so hopefully he keeps it going.
Absolutely. I've been really happy with his progress so far. It does feel like he's figuring things out in real time, which is ideal. And frankly, NXT should just let him hang out there for a little bit. The other stories of the N1, Elio Dr. Wagner Jr., the aforementioned wrestler, who I love very much. He's injured, but he did go out on a bang. He faced Yoshiki Inamura on the 3rd night, Monty, in Cork and Hall. 2 big motherfuckers just banging. You know what I mean? Just power slams and lariats and it's what I need. You know, did this give you what you needed, Monty, on a Monday evening?
Yeah, this is better than most things I've seen in the G1, to be honest.
That's awesome. So good.
Yeah, bro. This was another good one. Another good one.
I just I'm a fan of Inamura. I think he's a little bit underrated. You know, he's he came back from a little bit of a tour in the UK, and he came back with a new gimmick that he immediately dropped. But I think he could be a player. I'm a big fan of guys like him and Manabu Soya and Masakita Miya. A lot of those kind of just big. They feel like they're tied to the roots of what like Noah and Puro should be. I want some tough motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, man, good stuff there. Dragon Bane, Alpha Wolf have looked good in this tournament as well. Keno is Keno. And it's been a fun N1 so far. So we will continue to keep you guys covered on that. And with that said, I guess it's time for some news before we close this out with some super chats. So you want what do you want, Mats? You want me to do the Lucha Brothers, or do you want me to do the AEW one?
It doesn't really matter when we've only got 7 minutes left, bro. So they're both coming right now. So
sure. Okay. So a lot was made about Hangman Page not beating Bryan Danielson in the finals of the Owen tournament, and there was a lot of frustration about Hangman Page not getting Swerve Strickland. And obviously, AEW has made it clear that we're still going to see that match at some point. Hangman's sole motivation at this point is still Swerve. The question is, when are we going to get Swerve versus Hangman? And without spoiling, because this actually has no real bearing on any results in Wembley. So don't worry about any spoilers from that standpoint. But I will tell you guys right now when the next Hangman Swerve match is going to be. So if this is something you don't want to know when their match is going to happen, I guess you could click off the video. But Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland, I want to say 4. Are we at 4 or 5? Their next match, Monty, is going to be in Chicago at AEW All Out. That is the planned destination site for this match. This match is originally going to happen later in the year. It was going to be in a different AEW pay-per-view. And due to circumstances and changes within the wrestling landscape, AEW has decided to move this match up to Chicago. So that's your big AEW news update there. Hangman Page, Swerve Strickland, AEW All Out in Chicago. Once again, this doesn't really have much bearing on any Wembley results, so I wouldn't try to read too much into that from that standpoint. Beyond that, Lucha Brothers news, not too much of an update here, to be honest with you, but multiple people in WWE believe that Penta will be in Orlando this week. If he's in Orlando for WWE reasons, you would imagine and you would infer that it would be to appear at the Performance Center. I was not able to get that completely confirmed, but to be transparent, multiple people in WWE believe that Penta will be in Orlando this week. So those are your news updates for the week. And I will continue to work the phones. I will continue to try to get little nuggets of details of information for you guys. And I hope you appreciated this week's news from yours truly.
We need to get like an intro video for it, bro.
Yeah, right.
One minute news hitters, you know.
Absolutely. I was working on another one, but the black SUVs essentially swarmed my house. Legitimately,
the FBI came knocking.
Yeah.
I was getting phone calls.
I basically was like, "Yo, heads up! I'm gonna report this one," and they were like, "No, you're fucking not." I got a black SUV, but yeah, I essentially got hit with like, when this happens, then you can put this out. It's like, okay, but for the meantime, those are your news updates with Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland, and the update on Pentagon's situation. So those are your news updates, and I guess with that, Monty, let's go home here with some super chats.
Yes, if you guys want to send, I was gonna say, if you guys want to send more super chats so I can buy AC or a fan, please.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
I'm struggling over here. There's no air in this room.
Is there like a war going on in the live chat? What's going on?
Right. Just say Rhodes, $4.99. Appreciate it as always. Honestly, tag team wrestling as a whole is down in both companies. No one will criticize the Fed at this moment because they are hot. But people criticize the Fed. Like, it's with both of them. Like, both of them get criticized. So no one's really singing about the WWE tag division at the moment. Coming out of WrestleMania, it was actually getting quite a lot of slander because look at who the champions were. So yeah, I don't think that's quite accurate. The both of them are down, like you said, bro. Both of them are down, and both of them, if you ask the fans of the products, are pretty critical of them. So it's the AEW one's a lot more, like, it stands out a lot more because of the heights of the AEW tag division, you know. So yeah, hopefully they both figure it out, because I love tag wrestling, man. I'm very much like Charlie in that sense. Like, really, really love high top shelf level tag wrestling. There's nothing like it, I don't think so. We need to make it special again, you know, not just like mid card devices like it is at the moment. Don't know, 999. Watch Danielson versus Kenta for the first time. My God, Danielson is the GOAT. A Dave 4 3/4 from the mid 2000s is a 5.5 in the 2020s. Omega versus Okada broke him.
That's a legitimate fact, guys. If you go on Cage Match and you see any match from like 06 that has 4 3/4, watch it now. It's like legitimately going to be like equal to a match of the year candidate from this year. Like it's a scale breaker. Marufuji versus Kenta in 06 is
100%.
It's a modern Dave 6.
Yeah. He's lost the plot when it comes to that stuff. Like, he's so like jaded. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like I get it, but whatever. Ray Guyan, €2, appreciate it. They need to run Randy and Cena versus Roman and Cody in 2025. How would you?
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
They're all baby faces.
Disappointment 203. $2. I'm still in shock that Cody versus Solo got 4 stars.
That was crazy.
Really?
That's the perfect.
Yes, Dave
example of Dave losing the plot. You know.
Are you serious? I think Roman showing up moved him so hard that he was like, you know what?
Exactly.
It was 4 stars just for Roman showing up.
I genuinely think Roman coming out like was like the majority of that star rating. I think he was just like, oh my God, yeah. Just boosted it. He gave CM Punk
honestly.
Yeah, right. He gave CM Punk and Drew 3 stars. So yeah.
And my star win $5. Appreciate it. Anna is burning in that room like future Trunks did in the hyperbolic chamber. MJF bad.
Anna is.
Yes, I am.
I know your arm.
I don't understand the reference.
You have been.
My hand. Okay, so this thing is wood, right? And it's like pointy. So I'm like, for 2 hours now just doing this. So my hand is actually, I don't think you can see, like, but there's like marks in my hand, and it's actually like burning.
I
It's
know
hurting.
your wrist.
But the
for
second I try to stop, so my hand stops hurting, then I cannot breathe. So like,
Monty, before
it's
you read,
fine.
we have the AI chat summary on YouTube. No, I lost it. But there was an AI chat summary that said something like fans of AEW are in heavy disagreement over the future of All Elite Wrestling's future between All Out and Bryan Danielson. It was so funny.
anyway, and Jean-Pierre $2. Oleg's done miracles on me. Hashtag Boltonism.
He's a beast.
Hell yeah. Beast.
Jumanji Hunter $2. Is Jumanji Hunter $2? Is the books with limited dates thing true?
I don't know.
mean, bro, like
I don't know.
I think the fact that no one else like more reputable has followed up on it is, I think, kind of a red flag. And I'm not sure who listens to Wrestling Observer Radio, especially the ones when it's just Dave and Garrett. But Garrett asked Dave about Brian yesterday said that the Young Bucks have got limited dates and that's why they're not on TV. And it sounded like that was the first time Dave ever heard it, and he was just like, "Well, if that's what Brian's saying." Well, like, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I'd wait to hear from I don't know, like a PW Insider, a Sean, or someone like that.
Monty, my favorite thing is when like Alvarez introduces a topic to Dave, and David, like, clearly, like you just said, like, just heard it, because it'll be, for example, like, what's the latest on Jacob Fatu? And he'll be like, I don't know, you heard anything? Like, what's going on? Like, they start like asking each other and comparing notes live on there. But yeah.
And Jen, $2. What does the G in the G1 stand for?
Godo.
Yeah, man. Showtime Spurs $2. Chicago stays winning best city in the world. They do get a lot of wins, to be fair, especially in this industry. Anjan PN $2. I win, but at what cost? It's not for the title, ? Heartbreak. Well, we can't say that, can we? Because that would spoil your Wembley main event. And that's the Sultan $2 for the Anna AC fund.
Thank you so much.
Rahim $1.99, appreciate you. Any updates on the Motor City Machine Guns? I think that's meant to say, because it does say MG.
Motor Getty Machine Guns. Yeah, no, I don't have
it. Dan V900 or $1.99, appreciate it as always. Someone save Anna and get her AC. Go fund me win.
Midway through the pod, I'm seeing Anna fan, and I go upstairs to turn my AC on. Like, I was like, it's getting hot here.
I also live in the last floor, so it's even worse,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Matt Hennessy, €2.49. Who should Bobby Lashley first AEW feud be?
It's a good question. I'm not sure. I wouldn't hate him and Swerve. I wouldn't hate him and like a Samoa Joe type of guy. Him and Darby would be great.
Yeah. Him and Joe would be good.
I'd wait, man. I think it must have been on the Saturday show with Joe, but like, I think with the way things are with AEW at the moment, and the sort, like, say Garcia and Takeshita, like, they need to come back and they need to be heavily focused on, bro. Like, we need to see them truly elevated. Bobby Lashley can come in at the end of the year. I don't think it hurts anyone's feelings, because if you're trying to juggle that at the same time that you're trying to elevate people, it can get a bit dicey. And I don't see what the rush is, It's Bob Lash, man. He's gonna make a big splash whenever he comes in. So it's like, let's get Garcia situated first. Let's get Takeshita situated first. Let's make sure Mariah post All In is as good as she should be, etc., etc., etc. Because they've got some. It's a pivotal time for AEW. Like it's yeah. Darian $20. Just $20. That's just being a beast,
Thank you so much.
Showtime Spurs $5. Caleb Williams, Angel Reese, Swerve, Hangman. You can't touch me.
My man is winning. Listen, man, happy for you, Chi-Town.
Matt Hennessy $2.49. Who should the Lucha Bros first WWE feud be with?
Cody Rhodes.
I was gonna say I wouldn't mind like DIY or something, like or like Axiom and
Bloodline.
Nathan Frazier, just like oh god, just a solid tag team that can go in the ring so they can showcase how good they are. That's all I'm asking for.
Mm.
The Usos.
Oh, just watch
Oh,
being
yeah.
like Grayson, the other guy, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Just watch it.
Oh my god.
Corey David, $2. Oba working main event tonight. Yeah, brother. They know they got a talent on the runs. WWE got to keep eyes on him. Got regular scouting reports. Showtime Spurs $5. Brazil women's soccer hold that gold medal back in America. Thank you for the head coach, Monty.
Am I not suffering enough? Like, what is this about? But the thing is, okay, being very honest, in Brazil we had like a joke going on because we didn't think they would classify at all. So when they got to the final, we were like, oh, okay, like we're happy to be here. Like,
Yeah,
a
and to
silver
be fair
medal
to
is
this,
still a really big medal. I'm just saying.
yeah, and to be fair to the second part of the chat, Emma Hayes is, I don't know, bro. I don't know how deep it goes with women's football history, but there's got to be a chance she's the greatest football manager in the history of women's football. She won it all at Chelsea, brother. Enjoy the success. Showtime Spurs $5. This is no longer a wrestling show. This is now Get Anna AC telephone.
I wish you could play music on this pod because I just play like We Are the World and shit like that.
I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea.
But this was always going to happen. It popped me so much. Dan V 900 Meltzer saying that he overrates WWE so much, only to give Cody versus Solo 4 stars was hilarious. The man gave Joe versus Punk 3.5 stars at All In. Love how he claims 5 stars in the past is 4.25, 4.5 stars today, which is a lie.
It's a very flawed statement, and I almost made a long post in response to him, but I said, let me just not do that.
He's jaded, bro. It's like you'll never like. You'll never break for him,
It's like not.
He's set in his ways. He's an old man. He's jaded. He watches so much current wrestling. He's like, I doubt how often do you think Dave goes back and watches like?
Oh no, he doesn't at all. He's
yeah, exactly. So it's just
this guy saw Gabe Kidd and ZSJ and said, "This is Steve Austin bread." So what are you gonna?
Exactly, bro. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, like, come on.
All right, we are done, bro. We're 8 minutes in. Rhea Ripley's in the ring about to cut a live promo on Raw. So,
well, guys, thank you so much for supporting us.
Half of our viewers,
Thank you for the AC money, guys. The second that I actually buy an AC, whenever I get the WrestlePurists money, I'm buying an AC and I'm posting it on Twitter. I'm gonna thank you all individually.
Anna, we'll dedicate 7 minutes of Worldwide for you to do an unboxing.
Yes.
Do an AC. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Do an unboxing.
Real.
All right, guys, appreciate you for supporting Worldwide. This was another really successful show. You guys showed out and showed up, so thank you so much. I will be back tomorrow with the WrestlePurists Raw review, and who knows who will join us tomorrow. But I think reinforcements are on the way. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to talking about what hopefully is a good episode of Monday Night Raw. And until then, I'm Ibu. That's Anna, who is very, 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 very hot right now. And Monty. Guys, see you guys next time.